Okay, let's... Jay, she had a fight with Jay.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk, Shireen?
I heard you had a falling out with Cassia. You even threatened to kill her.
So, Vigdis is snooping in on my Vox line. I wasn't threatening your navigator. I didn't even think about it. I was just relaxing in the good company of fragrant Amasak, sweet-scented Laho, and a handful of new friends from the upper decks. And right in the middle of the fun, the Lady Navigator swoops in and starts jabbering about how her head is about to split from the cacophony of colors coming from our cabin. Long story short, Shireen, I had the misfortune of getting a taste of what your officers have been going on about. They say when the Arcelio girl becomes upset, everyone in the vicinity loses their minds and is overtaken by Agi. And it hurt like anything. I can only remember everyone huddling in a corner, wailing like klaxons. As for Cassia, I think Cassia was flustered by the state of our clothes, which were very meager back then, as you understand. Before I could get my bearings, the poor thing was gone. The whole situation was awkward. As for the threats, they were addressed to one of the girls I'd been foolish enough to invite to our little party. That Casa used the confusion to pilfer a full pouch of Laho from under my nose.
Okay, see you later.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
I have heard rumors that you're not getting along well with the crew. Panic flashes in her ruby red eyes, and your heart starts beating like a little faster while your hands go cold.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
Let's go to my study, no one will disturb us there.
Then lead the way, and I will answer all of your questions.
What is it you wanted to talk about, Lord Captain? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflict with the crew. I cannot recall my having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard. You have been willfully changing entries into the ship's logbook and forbidding officers from reporting it to Abelard. I beg to differ. I read numerous books on Astra Natris, and I can swear on House or Cello's honor that your officers are entering data in incomplete conversation contravention of regulation, false terms, random distances between lines, spelling mistakes in even the simplest words. I have spent the last few cycles correcting the latest log entries, and I thought it would please Master Abelard, as he is so fond of order. Okay, so at yet the Seneschal did not appreciate my effort and for some reason called them an outrage. Even though mere days before he had been swaddling me in warm yellow words, I noticed all of your people do this when they are expressing sympathy. I merely wanted to repay the seneschal with the same courtesy. Perhaps he finds my friendliness off-putting. You must have had quite a falling out with Jay if she's threatening to kill you. We didn't. I didn't. That is our private business. The issue was between me and Lady J, Lord Captain. Please pay no heed. We made our peace long ago, and I will have you know, no one threatened me. Your information is incorrect. The messenger you rebunked butchered his own family and then killed himself. I haven't rebunked a single errand boy on this ship. Ah, I think I remember. A kind young man with a shy smile and a skillful finger with too much rotten ochre on his shoulders. I grew tired of the disgusting color and I advised him to lighten his burden by casting the weight off his shoulder. He did not come the next day, or ever again. Okay. During the warp voyage, you gave the wrong orders, which led to the vessel shifting off course, and the service bay being destroyed. I saw something in the warp, something vast, predatory, shimmering with indescribable colors. It came from nowhere and stared at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes, right there in our path. I decided to change the course while it was still possible, but did not want to sow panic. Would it have been better to tell the crew we were heading straight into a monster's gaping maw? The officers are reluctant to be quartered next to your chambers because of the constant emotional outburst it causes them. Some even maim themselves, and others. I already told you I cannot control my abilities. What else do you want from me? I will be assigned a pariah chaperone? Or will you put me in suppressing shackles? Would you mind telling me why you needed 100 species of bird and what you used them for? Admittedly, I am at a loss myself. The day we arrived on Footfall, I sent a request to the ship's quartermaster and asked him to get me a songbird, but he never asked for clarification. And shortly before we left, I had a countless number of cages delivered to me, all wrapped in bright red panic with flickering tints of fear. There was a bird in every one. I was so excited, I thought I would have 100 friends instead of just one. They were squeaking so piteously. I let the poor things out. I even fed them my breakfast and dinner. But the stupid birds would not stop chittering, even after bedtime. They were dashing about the room, smacking me in the face with their wings and defecating. I became angry and suddenly they started pecking at each other's eyes and attacking me. Then I became afraid and they fell over dead. I do not think I want to keep pets anymore. I think I heard enough. Will you share your thoughts with me? Okay, so the verdict on this information then. So she's extremely dangerous because she's affecting the crew, but she's killing animals. So my crew has good reason to fear you. You truly are a monster. From now on, I forbid you to leave your chambers unless absolutely necessary. That's kind of harsh. You have a kind soul, but have a difficulty reaching out to people. I could teach you the art of communication if you like. She's well spoken. You have done terrible things, but I would not presume to lecture a person of noble blood. Woes dog your steps, but we will find a way to defeat them, I promise. Everyone who has dared to slander you will be punished. There is nothing reprehensible about your actions. Woes dog your step, but we will find a way to defeat them, I promise. Your kindness know no bounds, Svinto. I will endeavor not to cause you any more trouble. Very well, since we're done with this misunderstanding, I would like to change the subject. It would only be fair for me to ask you a few questions now, wouldn't it? Do not mistake me. I am not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that you're the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship. And you are always so busy. What would you like to ask? I read treatise by Paisius the Mobius very recently, who claimed that subjects would never believe their new ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the low-born rabble become deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What do you make of that? Let's go with Lore of the Imperium, that's our best. Your interpretation of this classical text is not entirely correct. If the subjects have grown accustomed to the ruling house, all the sovereign must do is refrain from breaching long-standing traditions. Adjust unwanted laws as gradually as you would shift the bed of a flooded river, and no one will ever take your power from you. On the contrary, the loyalty of subjects can be bought at a pittance. Lower tax, throw them a festival, or feed the needy. A gracious gesture once every cycle will exalt you in the eyes of the rabble, as if they were his own blessing. I lowered the tax, come on. Indeed, I was not wrong about your merits or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you either. According to 20 tomes penned by the preacher of Oystach, Instafan, or the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand. But people flock only to the one pan of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers, or be magnanimous and choose awe? One must be a tyrant, a friend, and a jester to one's subjects. What matters is that to clearly discern which role is required at the given moment. Oh, I failed. You are saying strange things. I do not understand how you can even... A jester? Stuff and nonsense. Well, we have had many successes, so this is a very good place to have a fail. We may not think alike, and I do not always understand your motives, and yet, may I be candid with you? Well, please do continue. I must confess that sometimes I can hardly bear the burden the house has placed upon me. I feel I am not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to a protectorate, can bear the responsibilities of billions of lives day after day and not stoop under all the weight. It's my duty, whether I like it or not. This inner turmoil is clouding your mind. My protectorate, my subjects, my title are mere resources that I am using solely for my own ends. It is not always easy, but I try to lead the dynasty toward prosperity by worthy means. Thank you for your patience, Svinto. You are helping me to see the world in different colors. A novel experience for me. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell for now. I am heading back to my chambers to consider today's conversation. Okay, let's get back to work. On the deck. We have to check it out. A new occurrence on the world. Your lordship.
Let us walk this path to the end.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Data slate. How do I see it? Yeah, I want to pick it up.
The Emperor protects. With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Data slate. Let's see where you are in this. This is some graphical bug shit. We're trying to find it. There it is. It has been several months since we arrived here, and yet we are no closer to understanding the local phenomenon. All that we were able to learn quite literally lies on the surface. The object does not reflect sound or light. On the contrary, it very much absorbs them. After extensive excavation, there we go, excavation. We did ascertain at last that the object is vast and goes deeply below the planet's surface. However, any attempts to measure it resulted in the loss of machinery or staff. Archaeological studies have turned out to be more productive. Their findings have revealed an amalgamation of architectural style of various cultures, including those of Sino origins. According to the boldest theories, the earliest of these structures date from the beginning of the 13th millennium. And all of them are without a doubt of religious. Let's see where we were. Religious nature. Analysis of base reliefs on the remaining epigraphic texts showed that a cult was formed around the object. From many centuries, Xenos and subsequently humans worshipped the object in exchange for certain boons, undoubtedly. Can we open it more? God damn it. Info. There we go. Undoubtedly imagined by primitive or corrupted minds. Okay. Cool.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Let's see. Let's save again and put our hand in the darkness. Silent existence. Okay. Anomaly. All right. Time to depart. Lord Captain, we have an emergency. We have received word that there has been a sighting on the lower decks. A sighting of Lady Theodora. The messages we have received are incomplete and vague, little more than yelling and hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on for yourself. The situation is delicate, and what's especially disturbing, there are mentioning Hydra Thlas being present at the scene. I'll deal with it personally. I need the exact location. Right away, Lord Captain. echo of the past. Let's fix this guy. This guy needs a level up. Toughness is good. Let's check the new sword out. The ghost sword. Here we go, ghost sword. Eldari weapon. 12 to 18. She had Eldari skills, right? Yeah, she's still better with it. So it's just okay. It's just okay. Tech use.
Operation successful.
The cognitator's regularity displays reports on the screens. Endless chains of symbols, many of which only high-ranking tech priests can likely understand.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Theodora. And who now designs to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself who has finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Theodora von Valancius is before you, and she looks grotesque. A whole John's wide is her chest. Rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers, as though it is dropping in and out of reality. She looks at you with a wittish eye of a corpse and smiles venomously. Rogue trader. We meet at last. I had grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Theodora's look is appraising, and her mocking tone turns to one of distaste. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I've left behind has gone to this non-nonity. Warp illusion be gone. Argenta, my dear, there's no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf like we used to? I listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings or help you with your childish treasure hunt. Throne, spare us from the cursed apparitions of the archenemy. Is that what you're truly praying for? I can't hear how fast your heart is pounding, Veriserian. I think deep down you're hoping this apparition never ends. Die, scum. So that's how you greet your great that's how you greet your great predecessor, boy. Bound stronger than the laws of life and nature are holding me in this world. You will find it somewhat harder to get rid of me a second time. What are you? What, you ask? You dare say that to me, little boy? I am Theodora von Valancius, Massimo of Scarus, rogue trader of the Imperium and commander of this void ship. Alas, my glorious voyage through life has ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off as long as I could, but do not weep for me, my boy. I am still keeping an eye on my property and punishing all those who fail me. You're not Theodora. Theodora is dead and there's no coming back from that. I'm dead, how is that? I am no different from those who have not yet crossed the divine between reality and eternity. I see, I speak, I remember the wrongs you all committed against me and for all those who failed me. I have already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora. The remnants of herself that she left behind in this world, I am an echo of her memories preserved in minds of those who cared for her. I am the taste of tears split for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and who refused to look truth in the face. I am as real as a human passion that brings world to ruin. If you are Theodora, then tell me who really killed you. Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you to languish in your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy. What do you want with me? Why were you waiting for me? Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death's veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help, and from my little Hydra, no less? And once I appeared here, I of course had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs. Where's Hydra? What have you done with her? Me? What have I done with Hydra? All I did was turn a little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys. I cleaned up after her antics. I provided her with everything she could have ever dreamed of. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Hydra. I'm sorry we could not help you, but you do not belong here. He feels sorry for me, wretched spineless creature. No, the only one worthy of pity here is you, boy. But do not expect any. I am not here to console you, oh no. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me, my brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants, who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir, you who gave your undeservedly claim to the warrant, and everything else that is mine. I will drag it all to the warp with me, including you.